What's up, guys? Jeremy here from Jeremy Evans Crypto, and I'm coming back to you with another video. As promised, I'm going to talk all things terminology and go over a lot of the stuff that you're going to hear as a beginner investor in crypto. We're going to talk about what all the terms mean and go into all that stuff. But we're also going to look at a little bit of what's going on in the market today. It's been a little bit of a it's certainly not a recovery day. It's more of a sideways day. There's a few altcoins that are going up, but that's about it. So we're going to get into some technical stuff, and we're also going to talk about terminology. So if you like that kind of content, please do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and that'll let you know every single time we post a new video. All right, let's see what we've got going on today in the world of crypto. Okay, guys, so as you can see here on the chart, we are pretty much, after this drop yesterday, we are pretty much just in a consolidation pattern, a little bit up, a little bit down, a little up, a little down, a little up, a little down. You get the idea. It's pretty much just going sideways, preparing for its next move. Could it drop a little lower? Absolutely. Could it drop? Could it bounce from this level? That's also possible. I could see it coming down further and hitting the bottom of this wick here, which was at 42,000, almost even. I could see it coming down a little bit further, and before it decides really what kind of what kind of direction it's gonna go from there. But you can see down here it has bottomed out on the RSI. This is the 4-hour chart, but it has bottomed out on the RSI. So that does give me a little bit of hope that it's going to pump up just a little bit. But we'll see. We'll see what happens here. I do want to go through some other things like the altcoins. Ethereum's doing pretty much the same thing. A little bit of sideways action here. There are a few things that performed really well today. A lot of the metaverse plays, specifically Mana, went up. This is a 4-hour candle, went up 15% during that day, or during that candle alone. So we've had some good moves in Mana. We had some decent moves in Sand, you'll see here, but that's another metaverse play, and it's kind of coming back up into that wedge. So we definitely did have a couple of moves to the upside. Engine here went up. Phantom still just it's up here kind of consolidating, but it didn't really have the retraction or the fall that Bitcoin did yesterday. So we're still seeing some positive things in the market, and I am definitely excited and hopeful because of that. Some of these patterns here, what you're going to hear a lot, and we'll get into the terminology here, what you're going to hear a lot is bullish or bearish. If you are bullish on a specific stock or a crypto, that basically all that means is that you believe that it's going to go up in the short term. If you are bearish, it means that you think it's going to go to the downside in the short term. I am long-term bullish on Bitcoin and a lot of the altcoins. I'm long-term bullish on it. But from time to time, we're going to see the trends go up and down in the short term. And so you go through those phases of bullish and bearish. What we're looking at here is TA. You're going to hear that referred to a lot as TA. It is technical analysis, where you're just going to go through the charts, look and see what's going on, where we've broken this upwards trend line and come down below it. That's technical analysis. That's what you're going to hear referred to as TA. When we talk about altcoins, you're going to hear altcoins a lot. Altcoin is essentially just anything other than Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the primary. It started the entire crypto universe, and everything that's not Bitcoin is an altcoin. So that's what that's referring to. Blockchain is another term you're going to hear a lot. Blockchain was created by Satoshi Nakamoto back in 2009. It is the technology upon which Bitcoin is built on. It is essentially a decentralized ledger keeping track of all transactions on a visible ledger that anybody can go back and look at, and you can see what wallets transferred what. It is very transparent, and it is pretty much unhackable. We'll get into a whole video at some point in the future on specifically what blockchain technology is and how it works. Okay, you're also going to hear about smart contracts. Now, smart contracts is a computer program that essentially is a program or a transaction protocol which is intended to automatically execute, control, or document legally relevant events and actions according to the terms of the contract or agreement. So smart contracts are built in and they are automatically executable, so that it takes out any necessary or any need for a third party like a lawyer or a judge or anything else to get involved. It will execute the contract as planned, the way the computer is set up and the terms of that contract are set up in that blockchain. Okay, another term that you're going to hear a lot is wallet. You're going to hear about hot wallets and cold wallets, or possibly hot storage and cold storage. Wallet and storage are kind of interchangeable. A hot wallet or storage is money that you keep on an exchange so that you can easily transfer between different coins or stable coins to cash out as well. So that's going to be a hot storage. Cold storage is going to be an actual hardware wallet, or it's going to be it'll look like a flash drive where you will have a certain set of keys to access that, and you can keep your crypto on that when you're not actively trading it or using it. You can keep it on that. It will safely, securely store your crypto off of a exchange so that it is less hackable and harder to get into. Okay. Decentralization, essentially decentralization, that you're going to hear that a lot because that is the fundamentals of all things crypto. Decentralization is just simply taking out the middleman. It is a transaction from peer to peer or person to person, business to business, without the need of a bank or financer or some other third party that's going to enact that that exchange. So decentralization just takes out a central party that controls the actual funding or the transfer of goods and services. You're going to hear a lot of people talk about digital gold. Digital gold is just simply a reference back to Bitcoin. Bitcoin is thought to be the equivalent of gold, but in a digital format, and not just the equivalent. Actually, I should say it exceeds gold in that it has retained value and has stored value that has increased significantly more so than gold. In fact, last year was the first year gold actually lost value, while Bitcoin raised over 60% for the year. So definitely an asset you want to hold on to, and treat it as gold, as a hedge against inflation, something that you're going to hold on to for the long term. And yeah, so anyway, that's the digital gold. Exchange, you're going to hear about DEXs, you're going to hear all kinds of things. A DEX is a decentralized exchange. An exchange is simply what you use to buy and sell your crypto. You're going to hear about gas fees, or you're going to hear about gas or gas fees. Essentially, all that is the cost of doing business within that blockchain. You're going to hear a lot about the high gas fees on Ethereum. That's due to the cost of an actual transaction happening is significant on Ethereum. That's why we have some of these layer 1 protocols that are coming out that are speeding up the process and lowering the fees and look like a long-term competitor to something as strong as Ethereum, utilizing that smart contract protocol as well. So there's a lot of great up-and-coming layer 1s that you're going to see contend with Ethereum for day-to-day transactions because the gas fees are so much lower. Okay, Hodl. You're going to hear Hodl a lot. That just means hold on for dear life. It just means hold your crypto and don't sell it. Don't panic, sell your crypto. Hodl. Next up, you got halving. Every 4 years, we go through a halving cycle. Halving in Bitcoin is essentially cutting in half the amount of. It's actually doubling the amount of transactions that has to happen to mine a new Bitcoin. So it becomes twice as hard to mine a new Bitcoin, which means the inflationary value of that is reduced by 50%. So obviously, if you bring down the overall total of Bitcoin and the consumer demand for it, the price goes up as well. So we've seen over the last couple of 4-year halving cycles, Bitcoin price has jumped up significantly. So that's what we're looking at in a 4-year halving cycle, but that's what that means. ICO, you're going to hear ICO. I think there's some other terms for it, but essentially it's just an initial coin offering. It's like an IPO in the stock market, initial public offering. It just means that it's a new coin and it's going to be offered on certain date, certain time kind of thing. That's an ICO. Mining, you're going to hear about mining for crypto. Mining essentially is nothing more than the process of validating blocks or validating the information to be stored in the blocks and then attaching it to the blockchain. That is the process of mining. After so many blocks have been added, those miners will receive a reward in the form of Bitcoin, and so that's how we create new Bitcoin and get new Bitcoin into the market. So mining is essentially just the process of validating and adding blocks to the chain, and then the miners being rewarded with Bitcoin in return. A node is a computer that connects the block to the chain. It's just, you're going to hear node. That is just simply a computer that is actually going to physically or digitally attach that block to the chain. P2P, B2B, peer-to-peer, business-to-business. You guys probably know that one. You're going to have private keys and public keys. You're going to hear that a lot. You never want to give out your private keys. Essentially, that is the access to your wallet so that you can transfer your coins around. If you have crypto on your wallet and you want to move it around, you can do that because you hold the private keys. But if you give those private keys to somebody else, then potentially they could get in there and do nefarious things. So always hold your private keys close to the vest. Okay, public keys are essentially a way that others can view your wallet to see what you have. So in my case, I have a lot of NFTs. I have a wallet that I hold all my NFTs in. I can share the public wallet. I can share the public key, and then people can go in and see what NFTs I have and make offers or do whatever they want to do. So that's what a public key is. Then you're going to hear, and I already mentioned it already in this video, but stable coin or digital fiat. Essentially, all that is a digital coin that is backed by the US dollar. And so it is equal to the US dollar, and that's what you would buy if you were to get on an exchange. You're going to buy a stable coin, or you're going to buy digital fiat, and then you're going to use that stable coin to purchase Bitcoin, Ethereum, Matic, whatever, Link, Luna, you name it. So that's what you're going to do there. So that's a lot of the terminology that we're going to go through. That's actually all the terminology I have for you today. As we come across other things, if you have questions, if I say something that you don't understand, please don't hesitate. Just stop me or reach out and let me know, and I'd be happy to clear it up for you. Let's look at a couple other things here real quick. I like this from TechDev. This is over on Twitter. TechDev is a great great page to follow on Twitter. If a trend line is what flips you macro bearish, big time bearish, you should have flipped a long time ago, respectfully. Yes, I'm getting all your rude DMs. Got them in July too. So back in July, we're down here and we still spiked all the way up, right? So actually we're down here May, June, July, right here, and we still spiked all the way up to all-time highs. So yeah, we have broken trend lines consistently over time. We've broken this trend line, we've broken this trend line, we've broken this trend line, this one. So you can see that even though we are breaking trend lines, as I show you here on my chart, this was the trend line, we broke it. It happens all the time, and it doesn't take anything more than that next run up to recorrect it and create a new trend line. So don't get too caught up when you see the markets go down like that. We talked about that yesterday. Don't panic, sell your crypto. That's all I can say about that. Finally, I'll get into the fear and greed today. Fear and greed actually went up today. I'm not real sure I understand that, but it went from a 15 to an 18, even though after it dropped yesterday and it didn't appear to be going up or doing anything crazy exciting today, it did still come up a little bit. I think our record low is maybe 10 or 9 or 8, somewhere around there. All-time low on the fear and greed. Just remember, when people are extremely fearful, that's when you should buy. That's when people are selling off everything. That's when the prices are the lowest. Buy the extreme fear. As this graduates up to neutral and ultimately to greed and extreme greed, that's when you're going to be wanting to look at cashing in and taking out some profits. So if you're following the fear and greed index, it's not that I love that it's in extreme fear. I just see it as a buying opportunity to which I will buy some more crypto. All right, guys, so that's all I got for you. I hope some of that technology wasn't too much too fast, but that's the essentials of what you're going to hear in the crypto world. And if you have anything comes up that you have questions on, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Leave it in the comments down below. Let me know what your thoughts were on this video as well. If you did enjoy it, please like it, subscribe, turn on notifications, share it with a friend that you think might like it as well. So I appreciate so much you watching and tuning in to each of our videos, and we will see you in the next one.